Alright, I'm Mark with Team 9541. This is our gearbox taken apart. So I'm going to put it back together. So we have 12 tooth high strength motors powering a 36 tooth, 3 and a planetary system. And then we have our 60 tooth slip gear, which has 12 teeth, then 8 teeth are shaved off, then another 12 teeth, then 8 teeth shaved off, then 12 teeth, then 8 teeth shaved off. And what this does is it'll give us a 3 shots per rotation. And as far as the gear ratios, you don't have to do it exactly like this, because you can see, whenever I go to put this back together, there's a lot of, it's very crunched down to spacing. I mean, here's the other half. It's very, very crunched down for spacing purposes. It's very, very thin. It doesn't have to be that thin. You can space it out further. You can see that we did a lot of custom filing here for the attachment point. So what it attaches to is right here on the base. Attaches to on the base. And we had to file this out because this other side, the other half of the gearbox did not line up. And we have these standoffs to give us our spacing. So there's the bottom gear. And then we have the little spacers right here to keep these gears off of the metal. Alright, so
pretty tough fit.
So time for the reassembly. So we have a little spacer to keep the slip gear off of the metal and the screw heads. So you'll put that on there. Turn it so that you put this gear on, be able to slide freely. So here we have the hammer, which is attached. It's an axle. The hammer is attached to an axle, and the axle has a 60 tooth on it. Slip gear powers the 60 tooth. So, and then we attach our bands to where this gets pulled back. The slip gear goes to the slip, blinks forward, hits the ball. 3 spacers. Spacing is differently between here and here. So space it out, keep it even. 3 spacers.
It's kind of funny you mentioned the filing on the C channels, but
yeah, I know. I forgot to mention all the other filing. Yeah, there's a lot of filing in this. You can see that
we don't have to mention it. My gosh.
Yeah, you can see that we cut this out so that the gear can fit in here. We also, I didn't turn that enough. We cut this out so that the hammer can slide forward. So put it back together. Have 1/8 inch spacers. You just slide into this.
Man, that's just in this design.
That's just in this design. Yes, it is in this design. You don't. If you use different spacing, you do not have to use the exact same spacing. This was just, we did this as compact as possible. So there's 5 standoffs, 2 on each end, 1 in the center.
So what did you use to do the gearbox? The gearbox, what did you use?
Oh, I used a 25-hole C channel, 5-hole, and I cut it in half to where they are 12 holes wide, or 12 holes long. Can you hold this up? Oh, I got it. It's got it. It's got itself. Last one right here. This is
okay. So why did you have this taped up at competitions?
I had this taped up at competitions because I did not want to reveal it until we had our qualification to regionals. But we are releasing it now because we want to be the first to release it, and we are releasing this right now before our next competition solely to rookie teams, so that they have a little bit of an edge over all the advanced teams. This is only our second year, and last year Skyrise, it was a lot of times rookie teams were ended up getting the competitions were more in favor over the more advanced teams. So this is to try to level the playing field a little bit.
There we go. Okay, that's a better shot. You can see everything fitting in there.
It's a very, very tight fit.
Get the tape measure. Do you have a tape measure down there?
I think so. Let me. Yeah.
Measure it across.
This one?
No.
Oh yeah. You can see.
I can't see anything.
It's
I can't see through your hands.
Yeah. It's 4 inches in width. Not counting this. Now if you come over here and count this, it is on the outside of the hammer. Looks like it's
4.5 inches.
4.5 inches. You just gotta make sure whenever you do this, both sides are aligned properly.
But again, that's in this design, right?
Yes, that's in this design. Everything has to be. Everything is spaced so perfectly that if anything is off, the entirety of it is off. So there's advantages and disadvantages to using such tight spacing. One of the disadvantages is that.
What was the one that you the video that
that we released? The video that we released was 36's planetary. So we had on one axle, we had two 36's. One was a slip gear, one was the gear that broke, and the
36s or 60?
Sorry, 60s. We had two 60s. One of them was a slip gear, then one was the gear that broke. And what we had powering those is 36's planetary. So one will basically this right here, same thing as this, just on the inside of the gearbox. So everything was contained except the motors to the inside of the gearbox.
Yeah, a lot easier to work with.
A lot easier to work with than this. A lot less precise.
A lot easier to build.
Yes, a lot easier to build, a lot easier to work on. Everything's more open.
How long did it take you to build the one with 336s?
Well, we started with 84s.
No. How long did it take you to build the?
Oh, what a day or two. But that was going over after going through couple different ones.
But then this was built.
This was built in what? I think 30 hours or so. Probably less than that. Because then we had to program it and all of these things as well. So there you go. Now it's put back together. The only thing is to put these screws right here.
So what you're saying is it gets easier after you do it?
It gets a lot easier after you've put it together and taken it apart a few times.
But after you get the gist of it, it makes it easier.
Yeah, once you get the gist of the way the slip gear works, the way the arm works, now you can use this mechanism for different things. You don't have to use it as a hammer that is hitting the ball. You can use it as a catapult. We will probably experiment with something like that eventually. Maybe not. I don't know. It'd be fun to mess around with. If you could load the catapult fast enough, you could probably get some pretty crazy speeds off the catapult. So, but one of the reasons why we get such great speeds off the launcher is the fact that we're only pulling back 2 rubber bands. But after testing with a bolt type shooter, we found that if you pull them back further, you get the force of more like 2 is more like the force of 6 pulling back 4 inches. So I gotta put this on here now, and then it's basically 2 screws from here, but since someone misaligned my stuff here.
I don't know who did that.
Yeah, I don't know who did that either.
It's the other guy in the room.
Yeah.
Where's Noah at?
I don't know. Somewhere. Probably sleeping.
Probably. What time is it?
Probably 3 in the morning now. Alright, so it's lined up. Those are good.
Is it 3?
No, it's 3:30. Oops, correction.
Okay.
So here we go. That's lined up. I need my wrench. Because if you don't have these lined up, what will happen is where it strikes the ball, the hammer strikes the ball, it'll be off to the left and the right, and it won't be directly center. And it actually won't fit in the C channels, because basically what we do is we double up the C channels and then run a screw through them, each one. So this entire mechanism is held onto our base by just 2 screws.
And it's this design.
That is this design. That is correct.
But this concept, as far as the concept.
Concept of the slip gear, there's a lot that you can do with it if you mess with it. You can make catapults, you can make bolt type shooters instead of using a cam. You can use a slip gear. We've seen teams do that. But as far as, in my personal opinion, the most effective and efficient use per motors for the slip gear would probably be doing either a hammer style or a catapult. And so it's set that there. Got all the wiring still on there. So you put that there, and my thing got moved a little bit. And then it's
Make sure the wiring's underneath there.
Yeah, the wiring is underneath there. It's all nice and good. So now it's that wire gets taped up. And that there. Then you run your one of your bolts. Where's my screwdriver? So you run one, tighten it down.
Now I see how these mechanics have issues. Trying to do it yourself is trying to show you how to do something on a vehicle. You can't see anything because their hands are in the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. Just need a better cameraman. Made a joke. And so we have our final one on there. And there you go. Put your 2 rubber bands on there. And there you go. And this is the, I forgot to mention stop. Here. So steel C channel wrapped around to make a shield. We'll make sure that's made out of steel. Otherwise, if you're using a catapult or a hammer style, it will get bent. So stop, make sure it's reinforced. Make sure wherever it's hitting, make sure it's nice and padded. So if y'all would like to see the current fire rate, potential fire rate of this gearbox with standard speed motors. See, it's quite violent.
Yeah.
So
now that's standard speed motors geared 3 to
3 to 1 or 1 to 3, however. You know, 1 rotation, 3 rotations per every 1 rotation. So for every 3 rotations the motors make, the slip gear makes 1 rotation. Do you want to post that to the actual forum? Oh, still. Yay. You do not get to see my face.